Hello, everybody, and welcome to our very special session on burnout and your personality. I am here to share a little tip or two about all things burnout and how to break free from it for good. And hint, it does have to do with your personality and mindset, and I can't wait to dive in. For those of you that are just settling in, be sure to set your chat to everyone so that we can all connect. And while you're at it, I saw a bunch of you already have done this, but tell us where you're tuning in from. If you're a member with us, how long you've been a member. If you're not yet a member with us, that's totally fine. Tell us you're not a member so that we get a feel for who's in the audience. I know some of you are already personalized life coaching members, which is awesome. And so be sure to share your experience with using the product thus far in the chat so people can kind of see the magic that we're up to. Today, we've got Jen O in the house tonight. She will be moderating the chat. So be sure to ask all your questions. She'll kind of filter those up to me, and I'll be taking a peek as well and try to get to as many as I can. And for those of you that I haven't yet met, I am Meha Agrawal. I'm the founder and CEO of Silk and Sonder. We are a self-help and self-care brand that helps people reduce burnout, anxiety, and stress so that they can live happier, healthier, longer, and richer lives. And we do that through a combination of things, but we're most known for guided journaling, community, personality development, and human-powered AI-driven coaching, which you're going to hear all about. I guess a short way is we are in the business of building tools and bridges to help you get from where you are today and where you want to be. And how we get there, or how we do that rather, is through two core memberships. We can get the next slide. Perfect. We have two core membership offerings. Number one is our guided journaling membership. This is where we send you a brand new monthly journal meets planner with plenty of exercises from personal development frameworks and therapy techniques that's delivered straight to your doorstep. And more recently, we launched a digital version of this, so straight to your inbox every single month with a brand new theme and a chance to start afresh. We also give you access as part of this membership to live and recorded community events led by Silk and Sonder trained coaches. I always like to use this analogy around group fitness classes. You can think of those events as your group fitness classes for your mind or your brain. And then third is our companion mobile app, which houses our amazing supportive community of the Sonder fam for peer-to-peer support, how-to tips and tricks, accountability, as well as thousands of various content related to journaling and mindset techniques through daily rituals. And more recently, we launched our personalized life coaching membership, which you're going to get a sneak peek into today. And that is where we use AI, generative AI, and human powered technology to fast track success across all areas of your life. And I just read this interesting stat that the top two things that people want to use generative AI for this year in 2025 is organizing their lives and finding purpose. And we are already doing that. I always love when I accidentally ride trends without even realizing it. But I guess that's what happens when you use curiosity to bring tools to celebrate humanity. So very exciting stuff. Here's a little sneak peek on the offer because many of you are probably too burnt out, or you're procrastinating, or you're tired, or you're exhausted, and you don't want to have one more thing to buy or to do later this evening. Well, you can just go ahead and commit. Go to coach.silkandsonder.com and use code RESET. We have a 30-day money back guarantee. And so there's really nothing to lose if you just want to overcome burnout and you're ready for change. So that's going to be available for the next 24 hours. So take advantage to get $75 off your first 6 months. But before we get started on burnout, I want us to do a grounding activity. So I want you all to go ahead and close your eyes. And I can't see you, but I trust you. I want you to think about what brought you in today. You could be doing anything. For many of us, it's the evening. For some of you, it's quite late into the evening. Some of you might have just gotten out from work. Some of you might, have been doing work while staying at home. But whatever it is, you decided to take a break and show up for yourself with whatever time you've got because something about burnout resonated for you. Either you can physically feel it or you can emotionally feel it. So I just want you to bring to mind what that burnout feeling is for a second. And like, what is causing that feeling of burnout? Just bring it, look at that big ball or that rock and like feel that heaviness for a second, however uncomfortable it might feel. Go ahead and like shake it off. Just shake it off, let it go. You're here, put that aside. And now we're going to take 3 big grounding breaths together, one for ourselves for showing up here today when we could have been anywhere else, one for our peers who are here at this very special event, and one for the community at large. So go ahead and inhale. Big breath out for ourselves. One for our fellow folks who have joined us this evening. Inhale and exhale. And one more for the community and world at large. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so I want to get a quick pulse. Jen, if we can move on, yeah, to the next slide. I want to get a quick pulse on how you are feeling. So I'm going to throw a poll up here. And I'll just kind of read you these definitions as you all answer them. Number 1, overwhelmed, drowning in responsibilities. Number 2, exhausted, no energy left to give. Number 3, stuck, feeling like you can't move forward. And number 4, disconnected, feeling totally isolated from your purpose. And I know it's hard. If you're anything like me, you're probably feeling a combination of many or all of these, but pick the one that just resonates the most in this moment. I should have added all of the above. What was I thinking? That would have helped my case even more, you know? But go ahead and answer. Let's just give it about 30, less than 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Looks like oh, it is close. Exhausted seems to be in the win, followed by stuck, then overwhelmed, then disconnected. We can go ahead and end the poll so you all can see. Perfect. So yeah, so it looks like most of us are exhausted, overwhelmed. I'm seeing a bunch of people that are saying all of the above or a combination. 2 and 4, it looks like exhausted and disconnected. For me personally, I am feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. As many of you know, I had a daughter a few months ago. I'm a first-time mom, and so I've been really struggling with balancing these emotions of motherhood, running a company, also having a very regimented and proven self-care practice that no longer exists. And so, yeah, I think it's been a mix of overwhelm and exhaustion. And I think despite building this business around proactive self-care, it doesn't mean that I'm completely immune. It's just that I have a tip or two in my back pocket, and that's what I want for all of you here today. And so let's go ahead and move on to the next slide so I can show you a little sneak peek of some of the challenges that many of you shared with us in when you registered for the event. It looks like some of you are feeling like there's stuckness, lack of motivation, loss of purpose, all things that we solve here at Silk and Sonder. People want to upgrade job and life, but are feeling stuck. So I'm seeing a lot of stuck stuff. Fatigue at work and home, that constant push and pull, getting sleep, eating well, hydrating, but still exhausted and burned out. That is really, really common. Burnout is creepy. It just creeps up on us. So when we don't even realize it, it can be silent. And so it's not always clear that you're burned out. And then feeling overwhelmed and not in control, not fulfilled, etc. So you are not alone. If any of you are experiencing burnout, this is a very common thing. Moving on, I want you now, again, go ahead and close your eyes. And I can't see, but I don't like cheaters, so make sure your eyes are closed. And I want you to imagine 1 year from now, 1 year. So I guess May 13th, 2026. Can't believe we're already halfway through 2025. 1 year from now, you are still overwhelmed. You're still feeling stuck. You're exhausted. You're tired. Still not living the life you dreamt about. All the goals you cared about, your career, relationships, health, are still sitting there untouched, and you're still feeling the same negative emotions that you were feeling today. How would that feel? Just sit with that for a second. Now, I want you to imagine if you made one small decision today, after you learn more about burnout and what Silk and Sonder does for you, that changes everything. This decision of investing in yourself, your well being, and allowing high self awareness to lead you to aligned action. Go ahead and open your eyes and share in the chat anything that came up if you're willing. And I'll share my example. When I did this exercise, I felt that what scared me the most isn't just exhaustion, it's missing the little moments in both my business and with my daughter or with my husband and losing the creative spark that makes me me. And I know that I actually need a lot of time to rest and recharge in order to achieve great things. And so that really, really gave me the ick. And we're here to avoid staying in survival mode, and instead taking the action that we need that works best for us to overcome burnout. So question number one, here at Silk and Sonder, we don't just lecture, we like to get things done. So I want you to take out a piece of paper. If you have the Silk and Sonder journal, you can open up a notes page. You can just grab a printer paper, take out a pen, and go ahead and spend about 30 to 60 seconds writing down the answer to this question. What is one feeling you imagine yourself struggling with if nothing changes in the next year? Take what you had in your head and go ahead and write that down in a sentence, phrase, or bullet list, doesn't matter, and share it in the chat. Okay, I'm seeing broken. Oh, that's deep, Marina. Frustrated, excuse me. Insecurity, unfulfilled. Insecure. Okay, we're seeing some patterns amongst people. Depressed, embarrassed. Brenda, thank you for sharing. Overwhelmed. Okay. Very big, heavy feelings. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Jem. And let's throw up a poll. I want you to start, oops. What happened? There we go. Can we get, sorry, we are trying to get back in presenter mode. Jen, can we get to presenter mode? I think our polls, we have some issues with our polls. So the poll, I'll give you the poll so that you guys can go ahead and get started. The poll is picking a category of life. So we've got wealth and career, love and relationships, health or other. And from there, I want you to pick one category that is truly top of mind that you were thinking about when you brought up that feeling that you were feeling. And from there, I think we can skip the poll. If it's too difficult, let's just go ahead and stop sharing and reshare the presentation, Jen. Looks like I'm seeing health, career, education, health, lots of health. And as part of this, the next question I want you to answer is, what is one goal, dream, or part of your life you're most afraid of leaving untouched or unfulfilled? So you've identified the category. Can you get more specific on what the goal is, the dream is, or the part of your life that you're most afraid of leaving untouched or unfulfilled for the rest of the year and into next? To be an attorney, Darla, that's a great example. Writing a book, Taylor, love that. Mental health, Maggie, great. Never going back to school, a permanent job, all excellent, excellent examples. Okay, great. People can keep writing that in, and then let's move on to question number 3. I want you to now think about one thing that your future self would thank you for starting today. So it could simply be the same answer of what your goal or dream is. Or is it the one baby step that you could start today, or investing in the right resources for you to overcome burnout to actually achieve your goals? So let's see what your answers are for that. As an example, I'll share mine. For me, I grew up in, Santa Barbara, but I'm of South Asian descent, and I watched many women in my family for generations, brilliant, capable, driven, just shrink parts of themselves because society didn't give them permission to want more. And so I've had that privilege to break that cycle once and hopefully for all, for future generations to follow, and to build Silk and Sonder and raise my daughter Anaya with the presence and joy, right? To nurture my marriage and do this all without sacrificing myself in the process. And so, for me, the one thing that I can do today, and given my personality, is to really choose intentional spaciousness, not just productivity, resting more to be able to accelerate more, and where impact doesn't come at the cost of my own peace. And so, what does that look like for you? So go ahead and write that down and just keep it to the side. You don't always have to share. If you can to share, that's great. And I'm seeing folks say, oh, just so many things, and it still feels overwhelming. Don't worry, we're going to get to the bottom of that. So let's move on to the next slide. I want you to all remember that burnout is not a personal failure. It happens when when you are who you are and your natural wiring is not aligned with how you're operating in the world. And so there's this fundamental mismatch between your true self and how you're living your daily life. You do not need to work harder. You do not need to do all the things, but you need to work differently and in a way that's authentic to you. So next, what the heck is burnout? It's so funny because we toss this term around, and I had the unfortunate kind of definition of thinking burnout equated anxiety, which it doesn't. And so we'll get to that. Burnout is not just about feeling tired. It's a state of physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion that builds up piece by piece, little by little over time when you're giving more than you're replenishing. And it happens when there's this gap, like I said, a misalignment between what you need to thrive and what your daily reality is giving you. So something's got to change with your inputs in order to yield a different output, whether that's in work, relationships, or how you treat yourself. So what are the signs of burnout? It's not always obvious at first, like I've mentioned, but physically it can show up as chronic fatigue, sleep disturbances, headache, tension, muscle pain, increased illness or lowered immunity. So all those times when you're getting sick quite often, something is going on with stress and burnout levels, brain fog and memory issues. And then emotionally, irritability, short temper, emotional numbness or detachment, feeling stuck, hopeless or unmotivated, cynicism, negative outlooks, disconnection from self or others. And ultimately, I think there's a combination of these factors. They can also be wrapped up and, you can be told it's something else other than burnout. But for me, I want to share a quick story. I always thought burnout was just physical, right? And I didn't even think of it as exhaustion. I actually thought of it as anxiety. So I was like, oh, like I have to have a racing heart, and that's going to be my clue that I'm burnt out. And a couple years ago, while running Silk and Sonder, and despite creating this self-care empire and being this self-care guru that so apparently practices what she preaches, I woke up one day and I was physically incapable, literally incapable of looking at my phone screen. I could not look at my laptop screen. I could not even listen to a podcast. I couldn't read a book. I could not do anything. And I was essentially burnt out. And I had no idea. It was a founder friend of mine who said, May, I think you're burnt out. I was like, oh, there's no way. Work isn't that stressful. I'm fine. I'm fine. But there was so much load I was carrying in my personal and professional life. I think it was at the time I was wedding planning as well, that I didn't even realize it had got to the point where I physically could not do anything. And it was my body telling me stop. And so you have to pay attention to these baby cues, because ultimately you do not want to reach that state. And, it became clear to me that self-care is not about checking off wellness tasks, because I was going to massages, I was doing the sauna, all the things that I enjoy doing, but it's about designing my life, and to support the way that I truly operate, which is needing a lot of time for rest to be creative. And that was my big aha moment, that holy crap, even even with the self-care routine, you need something more personalized. So I want to know if anyone is experiencing any of these signs. And if you're not, great. That doesn't, that doesn't mean you're in the wrong place. Maybe you just can teach us a thing or two. So go ahead and share your answers in the chat, and let's move on to the myths about burnout. So the myths about burnout, these are some of my favorite ones. Burnout just means you're working too hard. Like, stop working too hard. I hate when people say that. And when you're working hard on things you love, that's not always burnout, right? Burnout is about misalignment, not just the workload. So even under challenged people burn out. Even if you're working a couple hours a day or not working at all, you can still burn out. Second, self-care fixes burnout. I run a self-care company. I love my self-care rituals. I will preach them till the day that I die. However, self-care alone does not fix burnout. This is surface level. It needs to be, we need to address burnout at the root. And that's what I've realized, and which is why we've launched personalized life coaching, because there's what I call lifestyle medicine. This is deeper lifestyle and mindset shifts and habits that need to take place in order to fix the burnout. Third, this is a hot take, but taking a vacation will cure burnout. I absolutely hate this for many reasons, but a vacation to me is an escape. It can help you rest, but burnout returns if your daily systems stay the same. So how many of you, work is causing burnout, you book that 2-week vacation, you come back and you're more burnt out because you didn't solve the root issue. Burnout is a personal failure or weakness. We already talked about this, but this is just a human response to chronic misalignment. It's not a flaw in you. So don't work less, but work on the things that give you more energy. Burnout steals. What does burnout steal? It doesn't just make you tired. Burnout steals your energy. That constant feeling of being drained, even after a full night's sleep, that is burnout. You wake up tired, simple tasks feel like heavy lifts. You're constantly in survival mode instead of feeling energized by your life. Your motivation, the things you used to love, your work, your hobbies, even connecting with people feel like chores. This is so important to pay attention to. You want to care, but you can't seem to spark that inner drive. That's you living in misalignment. Number 3, your focus. You find yourself rereading the same email 3 times. You get stuck in endless scrolling. Multitasking feels like juggling fog. It's frustrating because you know you are capable of more, but you just can't do it, right? That's burnout. Your goals. The personal goal you set, like the one we just talked about, health, career, relationships, money, whatever it might be, get sidelined. Not because you don't care, not because you don't want it, but it's because you're simply too depleted to take meaningful action, and months slip by. And that's why we're here today, to get ahead of it. And your sense of self. This might be the hardest one, but this is when you start wondering, who am I who am I even anymore? You feel disconnected from the best version of yourself. You've forgotten your dreams. You know that version is still there, but she feels out of reach. I love this example or I love this reminder, rather, however sad it might be. I experience this all the time. When I get burnt out as an entrepreneur, I lose sight of the fact that I want to build this big brand that is a legacy brand that carries out for generations to come, because it feels too hard. I'm burnt out. It's too much effort. I'm working too hard. Nothing's getting there fast enough. And losing that sense of self is always my reminder that I need to slow down and I need to recalibrate how I'm doing things because something is off. So pay attention to what it's stealing to figure out how to fix it. All right. So there's 3 types of burnout. We now know what burnout steals. What are the different types of burnout? So overload burnout. This comes from overworking and overcommitting to achieving success, approval, or validation. So if you took your Enneagram or your Myers-Briggs, this often affects people that are high achievers or perfectionists. So I'm thinking type 3s of the world, type 1s, ENFJs, ENTJs, probably even ENTPs. The signs of this type of burnout are working long hours with little rest, pushing through exhaustion, ignoring emotional or physical needs, and measuring self-worth by productivity. How many of you, and I want to, as I'm talking about these, go ahead and tell us which of these resonate the most. If I just work harder, this will get better. If that's you, put it in the chat. Under challenge burnout. This happens when there's a lack of meaning, growth, or stimulation in daily life or work. It often affects the people that are creative thinkers, the intuitive types, the dreamers. This is another great one for ENTPs. That's me. INFPs, Enneagram 4s and 7s, the signs that you're dealing with under challenged burnout, feeling bored or stuck, not using your talents or strengths, feeling disconnected or disengaged, resentment towards tasks or routines. And oftentimes you're thinking, there's no point. Nothing here lights me up, anyways. So I want to see if anyone, I love that some of you are like, all of them. Yeah, I get it. That's because you have a multi-layered personality. Um, Neglect burnout. This happens when you're feeling powerless or unsupported, which leads to disengagement or giving up. So this is my nurturers, the helpers, the people pleasers, the type 2s and the type 9s and the ISFJs. You are the ones who experience this through inconsistent motivation, procrastination, low self-trust, or learned helplessness. And this internal narrative of, I can't do this anyway. And the root pattern here is no matter what I do, nothing changes. So it looks like we've got folks dealing with all kinds of burnout. But the reality is that self-care at its best is not about the luxurious things. It's about truly understanding who you are and what you need to overcome these types of burnout. So next slide, we can get into what we're here to talk about, which is that burnout is not one size fits all. As you see, different types experience different types of burnout. The reason some of us have multiple types of burnout at the same time is because we might be an Enneagram X and a Myers-Briggs Y, and that layered experience is what causes even extra burnout. How you experience stress is shaped by your personality. What triggers burnout for you might energize someone else. What helps someone else recover might not work for you. And so without knowing your Enneagram, your MBTI, or being surfaced the right recommendations, you will continue to keep trying strategies that just do not fit, like wearing someone else's shoes. So if we go on to the next one, we're not going to do a poll. We are just going to have you drop in the chat what your Enneagram type is. And I want you to just go ahead, take a moment to read the slide and see if the reason on why you burn out resonates. So for me, I'm a type 3, the achiever. I burn out because I'm constantly chasing external validation. And so when I don't get that validation or recognition, and by the way, external validation, I was a type 3 in denial. I thought I'd overcome this because I do so many things that I'm intrinsically motivated by. But I'd be lying if I said that I don't want to feel validated by my customers, by the Sonder fam. If I didn't check how many people like my Sonder Club post or my post on Instagram, or how many people bought the new product, or how many people are going to sign up today for personalized life coaching, it is a chase for external validation, and it can get very exhausting if I don't achieve it fast enough. And similarly, let's go ahead and move on to our Myers-Briggs. This is the reality I was talking about. Burnout happens, it's layered, right? I'm an ENTP, and so ENTPs are known to feel like they're getting bored if they're not challenged enough. And so this is why I work on a bunch of things at once. This is why Silk and Sonder has, physical products, digital products, AI-driven products, community events. We do it all because that is a byproduct of how I think, which is a strength, but it also can force me to burn out. There's two slides. I see some people asking, where is ENFP? We have two slides on this, so we'll just take a few seconds so everyone can get a chance to see theirs. And drop in whether this is resonating for you, the burnout reason. Oh, I love Mona Jean, under challenged and neglected ENFP number 2. Amazing self-diagnosis. I love it. Great. Well, speaking of Mona Jeans, let's go on to the next slide where we have a quick self-discovery. Now that I just word vomited everything related to burnout and your personality and all the different types of burnout, I want you to just take a quick 45 seconds to write down, how does burnout show up for you? Which of the personality types sounded most like your pattern? Just jot it down and share with us, of course, in the chat. Okay. People are taking some notes. For me, as a type 3 and ENTP, burnout often shows up as an overcommitment and chronic restlessness. So I get trapped into this cycle of doing more, chasing achievements, jumping into new ideas without pausing. But for someone else, like a type 9 ISFP, burnout might look like saying yes to everyone else. Not a problem that I have, but many type 9s do, saying yes to everyone else, getting stuck in procrastination, and slowly disconnecting from their own needs. You see how there's a difference? And you see how a type 3 ENTP like me needs something else than a type 9 ISFP? That's exactly what we're here to help solve. This is a mismatch between how you're wired and how you're living, and that's why generic advice does not work. If you don't understand your unique burnout pattern, you'll keep trying solutions that were never designed for you. So I'll say it again. Go back, Jenna. Generic self-care does not work. You need a solution that is tailored to you. So you need a step-by-step roadmap built around your unique mind, motivations, and lifestyle. But how do you prevent burnout with all these moving pieces and, memorizing all your personality types and what the triggers are? You just can't do it yourself. I mean, I couldn't, and I don't expect any of you to. So that is why I created personalized life coaching, because my own personal struggles with procrastinating and burning out are on the things that mattered most to me, is what led me to build this entire product and platform for all of you. So go ahead on the next slide. We don't give you cookie cutter advice, nor do we build a cookie cutter platform. We are helping you get the right breathing, living support system based on your personality, your goals, and your real life. And the best part is that we get to evolve as life happens to you as well. And so we all know too well that we are living this life. Even if you overcome burnout, something or the other is going to come up. How do we build resilience? And how do we ensure that you don't keep burning out? By using personalized life coaching. Your path to recovery and to thriving and to really building and living the life that you want, it all starts with knowing yourself, and we give you the shortcut to do that. We can go quickly around the slide. If you're anything like me, you've tried the tried and true options, and there is nothing wrong with these options. These are all great tools in your toolkit, but they just don't get you there fast enough. I've read all the books, listened to all the podcasts, I've watched all of the YouTube videos, but unfortunately there was no accountability, and I also would just quit. So same thing has probably happened for you. Traditional therapy and coaching, excellent, very, very personalized. But unfortunately, they're not always most affordable, and you just can't expect your therapist or coach to be there for you 24 hours a day. I mean, they're not getting paid for that. So the support can sometimes feel slower because you have to wait until your next session, and then your next session. You have to remember everything you talked about and remember what to do for homework. It's a lot on you. And so you need something that supercharges you. Generic self-help programs, lower cost, but one size fits all advice, right? And they don't have the tools that we do to help you identify your layered personality and your cognitive distortions, your saboteurs, your self-sabotaging beliefs, all the things that really will help you overcome burnout. So what we do differently is that we're affordable. It actually comes out to about $2 a day when you use the $75 off code that we have going on. It's always on. You can go out there anytime, and it's dynamically built for you. So let's continue. I want to get to the actual demo of things. So personalized life coaching, we have multiple pieces. We give you a full in-depth personality report, plans tailored to you, written in a way that'll help you overcome burnout through mindset reflection and action exercises, and then 24/7 life coach chat, which I absolutely love. Check it out.
The 24/7 chat feature is one of the most powerful parts of your personalized coaching plan. Why? Because it gives you direct access to personalized support whenever you need it. Whether you're stuck, overwhelmed, or just need a boost, your coach is right there in your pocket. Here are a few quick tips on how to use the chat so you can get the most out of it. Let's say you're stuck on a journaling prompt. Just click the Get Help button right next to it, and your coach will jump in through the chat. Your coach will guide you with follow-up questions, reflections, or even a suggested response to spark your thinking so you're never journaling alone. Not sure how to fill out a page in your journal or plan? Just ask your coach. You can request a thought starter to spark ideas, or even have your coach help complete the page for you based on your unique personality. Some of the most popular pages members get help with are monthly intentions, habit or mood trackers, weekly setup pages. Whether you're feeling stuck or just short on time, your coach is here to support you and simplify your process. Sometimes you just need support in the moment. You can use the chat to share what's on your mind, how you're feeling, and why. Whether it's stress from work, a tough conversation, or just a wave of anxiety, Your coach is here to help you work through it. All you have to do is open the chat and say something like, "I'm feeling off today and can't focus. Can you help me figure out what's going on and what to do next?" Your coach will guide you with personalized reflection, tools, and steps to help you reset and move forward, without judgment. Here are a few other ways you can use the chat. Ask for help prioritizing your to-do list, get ideas on how to structure your day, learn time management strategies that match your personality, or simply ask for a positivity boost when you need a little encouragement. No matter what you're facing, big or small, your coach is here to guide you, support you, and cheer you on. So go ahead, send your first message. We can't wait to support you on your journey.
I'm so proud of our 24/7 life coach access. I mean, my executive coach knows this, but I would literally text her at all odd hours of the day with homework I had assigned to myself and pictures of my answers, and she'd be like, "Okay, we can talk about it the next session." And I'm like, "But I can't wait. I need to do something now." And so now you can do that. You can take a picture of your response to a journaling prompt and get feedback on how to go deeper. You can take a picture of a blank page in your journal and get answers. It's amazing. And this is all in service of preventing you from burning out and understanding what your triggers are so that you can feel full every single day. I love showcasing how personalized coaching reduces the risk of burnout by reminding you a sense of who you are and what you need to fill your cup. This is absolutely critical because burnout is all about energy depletion. Most recently, we launched our emotional health score, which is a great quantitative measure of how you're doing across all areas of your life. And so this is something that you can't get anywhere else, and something I'm deeply proud of because sometimes you forget and you're not going to remember your superpowers and what you're working on, and how you get in your own head. And so be sure to really look at this in depth periodically as you join life coaching with Silk and Sonder. But let's see the whole thing in action. Jenna, I know we have a wonderful video on this because
Personalized
it's a
life
show and
coaching.
tell.
We're so glad you're here. By being here, you've already done something powerful. You've chosen you. You've chosen to pause, reflect, and invest in the version of yourself that's aligned, grounded, and growing. At Silk and Sonder, we believe transformation begins with intention, and that's exactly what this coaching experience is designed to support. Whether you're navigating change, building new habits, or craving more clarity in your day-to-day, you're not doing it alone. Your journey starts now, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Let's dive in. Now that you've completed onboarding, it's time to explore something truly special, your personality report. This is a snapshot of you, not just who you are on paper, but how you show up in the world, how you think, feel, connect, and grow. Inside, you'll find your full personality reading, including your emotional health score, your superpowers, and your areas of opportunity, all designed to help you understand your strengths, patterns, and where you might need a little extra support. We've pulled together insights from your Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, Human Design, love languages, attachment style, and more, including your thinking traps and saboteurs, with practical ways to navigate each one. You'll also find your core values, your wheel of life reflection, and the 3 focus areas you chose during onboarding. This helps us co-create a coaching journey that's deeply aligned with the life you want to live. We've even included learning lists, books, podcasts, shows, and movies that speak to your authentic self, and self-discovery homework to help you explore your legacy, relive your biggest highlights, and dream up your mini and major manifestations. This report isn't static, it evolves with you, and it's the foundation we'll build on together. Now that you've explored your personality report, it's time to dive into your personalized plans, your daily or weekly guide to growth, alignment, and reflection. These plans are designed for you and with you in mind. Whether you prefer to receive them daily, weekly, every other day, or just whenever you need them, you get to set the pace. There's no right or wrong way to complete your plan. Some people tackle it all in one go. Others space it out throughout the day, or even stretch it over a few days. This is your journey. Each plan begins with your mantra, a grounding intention for the day. Then comes your tip of the day, a quick, actionable insight tied directly to your personality and goals. Next, we invite you to slow down with a short breathwork practice, followed by your affirmations, designed to shift your mindset and uplift your energy. Then you'll get to reflect with your journaling prompt. If a prompt doesn't resonate with you, simply tap Replace to find one that feels more aligned. And if you're feeling stuck, just hit Get Help. Your life stylist will send you thought starters to guide your response. You can even journal directly in the plan, just type and go. Finally, you'll end with a manifestation activity, a chance to dream big and get clear on what you want to attract. And remember, if you come across an affirmation, journaling prompt, or manifestation activity that you love, don't forget to save it so you can come back to it anytime. These plans are here to support you, not pressure you. So go at your own rhythm and know that your life stylist is always just a message away. Before we move on, there's one more feature within your coaching plan that's essential: the Notes for Next Time section. You'll find it at the bottom of every plan, and it's where you can share updates, feedback, and reflections directly with your life stylist. Why does it matter? Because your plan should grow with you. While your original intake form helped us understand where you were starting, life is always shifting, and this section helps your life stylist adjust your plan to reflect your current mindset, emotions, and priorities. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and need extra support. Maybe a journaling prompt didn't land, or a new goal popped up. This is the place to share it. You can write things like, "I've been feeling anxious about an upcoming move. Can we focus on grounding techniques?" Or, "I really love the affirmations this week, especially the ones about confidence. Can we keep those coming?" You can also use it to give feedback on what isn't working. The health-focused prompts haven't been resonating. Can we focus more on career clarity instead? And don't worry, you don't need to write a novel. Just a few lines can make a huge difference. We recommend checking in at least once per week, so your life stylist can curate your next plan based on what's really going on in your world. The more you share, the more aligned and supportive your coaching experience will be, so don't skip it, leave a note, and let your life stylist know how they can best show up for you. If you ever feel like your coaching plans are too much or not quite enough, know that you can update your preferences at any time. Inside your dashboard, you'll find a section where you can customize everything from when and how often you receive plans, how many affirmations and journaling prompts are included. This means your plans can flex with your schedule and your energy. You can also update your focus areas as your goals evolve. Whether you're shifting priorities or entering a new season of life, we make it easy to adjust your focus. And we keep a log of all your past ones, so you can always reflect back on how far you've come. Your coaching experience is designed to grow with you. So if something feels off, take a moment to reset your preferences. We'll take care of the rest. Let's talk about one of the most powerful parts of your coaching experience, the 24/7 coaching chat. This is your direct line to support, anytime, anywhere. Whether you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, unmotivated, or just need a little guidance, your life stylist is right here for you. Stuck on a journaling prompt? Just hit Get Help, and your life stylist will jump in with follow-up questions, suggestions, or even a sample response to get your thoughts flowing. Not sure how to fill out a page in your journal or weekly plan? You can upload a photo, ask for feedback, or even have your life stylist help complete it with you based on your personality. Some of the most popular pages members ask for help with are things like monthly intentions, habit or mood trackers, and weekly setups. But chat isn't just for journaling, it's for life. You can reach out when you're having a tough day and just need to talk it out. Feeling anxious before a meeting? Hit send. Can't focus? Your life stylist will help you understand what's going on and suggest small steps to reset. You can ask for help prioritizing your to-do list, structuring your day in a way that works for your energy, or finding time management tips that align with your personality. Or maybe you just need a little encouragement or a mindset shift. We've got you. Your life stylist is here to support you, guide you, and remind you that you're not alone on this journey. Want to go even deeper in understanding yourself? Head over to the Content Library. This is your space to explore powerful topics like your Myers-Briggs type, Enneagram number, core values, or even self-limiting beliefs through expert-led masterclasses and guided exercises. Whether you're craving clarity, tools for growth, or just curious about how your mind works, you'll find something here to support your journey. And the best part? We're constantly adding new content, so you'll always have something fresh to explore, led by coaches, psychologists, and thought leaders you can trust. You don't have to go through it all at once. Just follow your curiosity and let your growth unfold. You're officially ready to begin your personalized life coaching journey, and we couldn't be more excited to support you. Remember, there's no perfect way to do this. This experience is designed to support you, your rhythm, your growth, your goals, and you're never doing it alone. If you ever need help, have a question, or just want to talk something through, reach out to your life stylist directly in the chat or email us anytime at concierge@silkandsonder.com. We're here for you, every step of the way. personalized life coaching.
All right. First of all, I will get to the questions at the end if people want to stick around. But before we do that, go ahead and close your eyes and imagine in just 3 months from now, you wake up energized, you know exactly what to focus on. You're making real daily progress towards your goals. You're no longer overwhelmed. You're no longer exhausted. You are waking up with pure joy and confidence to go after everything it is that you desire. And think about what that feels like. And think about how easy it can be given everything you just saw. Less to do and more of a guide every step of the way, knowing you better than you know yourself. That's what personalized life coaching is going to bring you. So go ahead and hopefully the QR code works on this last slide. I apologize. The hyperachiever in me will be talking to my team about that. But if this QR code doesn't work, all you have to do is go to coach.silkensonner.com, use the code reset. Like I mentioned, this is only going to be live for the next 24 hours. And by the way, if you don't sign up in the next 24 hours, you're not going to sign up. You're just going to wait until the next time we do a webinar. And I can't guarantee that we're going to have this aggressive of an offer the next time around. I did see some chatter in the chat about budgets. Totally fine. Everyone has a different financial situation, but it really works itself out to $2.46 a day, which you are priceless. So you are worth much more than that. But if it is too much of a stretch after the first month and you love it, just email us. We'll see what we can do. You know, it takes a lot to run a business, but we want to make this as accessible as possible. And with that, I think I will go ahead and answer a few questions, Jen, that I saw popping up. One question was around the video. Can I get access to that? We will try to link it in the emails after this event, but the easiest way might just be to email concierge@silkensonner.com and we can get that video to you. I did see a question around AI versus humans. It's something we get a lot. I was a computer scientist. I was a software engineer. I know AI very well, and I can tell you this, AI alone does not solve our problems. However, when paired with experts like myself and the type of stuff that we're actually putting into the algorithm in the engine, that is where the magic lives, or rather the science lives. And so you aren't just talking to another chatbot or anything like that. This is very much architected by humans. Let me see what other questions I saw. There were some questions around, I think there was a question around whether there's a minimum commitment. There is no minimum commitment. You can, you know, if you prove to us that you actually use the product as intended, there is an option for 30-day money back guarantee. So there is very little risk to signing up. I always say investing in yourself is the lowest risk with the highest reward. And I will share with you that I only had a few $1,000s in my bank account and I was completely burnt out. I was working at a job I hated. I had started Silk and Sonder, but I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere. I was doubting myself and just crumbling, and I wanted to live this expansive life. I had to hire a coach that charged $750 an hour. So it worked out to be a couple thousand a month. I've since spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my own personal growth and realized that's just too expensive and not accessible for everyone else. And it wasn't for me back then. And had I contemplated that decision, even though that was a very expensive decision, I would not know what my core values are. I would never have quit my job and started Silk and Sonder. I would never have built the products that impact and transform all of your lives. And I am just so grateful that I invested in myself rather than just putting a Band-Aid back on the problem. And so if you have any ounce of burnout, I promise you will not regret it by joining us at Personalized Life Coaching with Silk and Sonder. And a lot of you know this, but we co-create our products together. So based off of your feedback, what's working well, what you're not liking about Personalized Life Coaching, we absolutely integrate that in. And the best part with digital products is that you can be very quick on the iterations. And I have some really awesome stuff planned in the pipeline for all of you that's going to make this way more valuable than whatever you pay for this or full price. And so that's thanks to the community that took a bet on this several months ago and influenced the product roadmap. And I can't wait to show you. So with that, let's all kick burnout to the curb together. Use the code reset, and I will see you all in Sonder Club or on LinkedIn or on Instagram. You do not have to stay burnt out. You just need a personalized path. We have built the shortcut to make you live a happier, richer, and longer life. And I'm absolutely excited to help you every step of the way. So thank you all for joining.